Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Sunday service for April the 26th. I am Rev Ogun, and so glad you've chosen to take some time to connect with us in this way. Let's begin with an opening centering prayer. So if you're comfortable, just gently close the eyes, hands on the heart if it helps you to center, and just take a deep breath. As we take a deep breath, we give thanks for this opportunity to know that while we are still having to stay put, stay in shelter, stay in socially isolating ourselves, we are still connected. We are still one. We are still together in this experience. We are all in a time where we can truly identify with each other. We're in a time where no one is unaffected, and therefore we are in a time where everyone has the opportunity to be that light of the world. So today we give thanks for you, for being the light of the world at this time and helping us to co-create spiritual community. We do it alone, but we do it with each other. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen and amen. As always, I am thrilled to be accompanied by a group of wonderful musicians. We got Meg, we got Lynn, we've got Brian, and making a special guest appearance today, the one and only Keith Bickford. Good to see you guys. And we're going to start off with a song in honor of Earth Day. Meg and Lynn are going to give us some Gaia.
I love my mama. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah. Oh, who do I love? I love my mama. Who do I love? She loves me. Who do I love? Oh, I love my mama. She gives me everything I need. Yes, she does. She gives me everything I need. And I say, Gaia, she is the ocean, Gaia. She is the stream, Gaia. She makes the rains fall. She means the world to me. Yes, she does. She means the world to me. Oh, who do I love? Oh, I love my mama. Who does she love? She loves me. Who do I love? Oh, I love my mama. She gives me everything I need. Yes, she does. She gives me everything I need. And I say, Gaia, she is the mountain, Gaia. She is the breeze, Gaia. She is the green field. She means the world to me. Yes, she does. She means the world to me. And I say, Gaia, she is the ocean, Gaia. She is the stream, Gaia. She is my mama. She means the world to me. Yes, she does. She means the world to me. And I say, Gaia, she is the animal, Gaia. And she is the tree, Gaia. She is my mama. She means the world to me. Yes, she does. She means the world to me. Oh, yeah. She means the world to me. Cha-cha-cha.
Well, I'm sure grateful now, and I'm sure hoping you find yourself grateful also. so grateful. Can't you see that I'm grateful, yeah? Yeah, I'm so grateful. Can't you see that I'm grateful, yeah? I'm so grateful. Can't you see that I'm grateful, yeah? Well, I'm so grateful. Can't you see that I'm grateful, yeah? Got a grateful feeling and I thank the Lord. Feeling and I thank the Lord. Feeling and I thank the Lord. Got a grateful feeling and I thank the Lord. In that early morning light, done nipped at the heels of the preceding night. As I open my eyes, I see it's a world of beauty, such a world of beauty, and in this world of beauty that's surrounding me, and that I'm hopeful. Can't you see that I'm hopeful? Yeah, I'm so hopeful. Can't you see that I'm hopeful? Yeah, I'm so hopeful. Can't you see that I'm hopeful? Yeah, I'm so hopeful. Can't you see that I'm hopeful? Yeah, got a hopeful feeling and I thank the Lord. Got a hopeful feeling and I thank the Lord. Got a hopeful feeling and I thank the Lord. Got a hopeful feeling and I thank the Lord. In the evening stars rise, twilight comes to bid the day good night. As I close my eyes, I dream that it's a world of beauty, an endless world of beauty, such a world of beauty that's surrounding me. And then I'm grateful. Can't you see that I'm grateful? Yeah, I'm so grateful. Can't you see that I'm grateful? Yeah, well, I'm so grateful. Can't you see that I'm grateful? Yeah, well, I'm so grateful. Can't you see that I'm grateful? Yeah, I got a grateful feeling and I thank the Lord. Got a hopeful feeling and I thank the Lord.
Nice job, Keith. Good to see you. I'm so grateful that you were able to join us today and share that song, one of my favorites. And I'm also grateful for this time that I can spend in meditation with you. So I invite you all, as you're watching, wherever you're watching, to get in that comfortable place as we prepare to go into the silence, find that comfortable chair. Since we're not in the building and anybody can see you, if you want to lie down on your bed, you could do that too. Whatever helps get you in that place of comfort. I'm going to invite Meg and Lynne to sing us into meditation with Ohm Shanthi.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. 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 Peace inside my mind, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my mind, God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Peace inside my heart, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my heart, God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Peace inside the earth, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside the earth, God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om.
Om, the sound of universal breath. So let us take a moment now to begin to center into our breath. So wherever you are, begin to connect by the breath by first connecting with your body in its entirety. Allow yourself to relax into the chair, the bed, whatever is supporting your body right now. Simply allow yourself to totally trust in that support and relax fully into it. Feel those points of support. Allow those points of contact that you can sense beneath your feet or your back, underneath you. Really feel them right now because they are happening in this present moment. As you continue to breathe, notice any sensations in the body. Do not wish that they were not there. Use them also as anchors to pull you into this present moment. Remember in truth that all we have is this present moment. The past is gone, the future is yet to be. We are simply experiencing the now. So now turn the attention fully to the flow of breath as it enters and leaves the body. To the moments of stillness between the breath. Just notice them. Do not wish the flow was any slower or faster. Just notice it without judgment. Notice it with gratitude. And at any time during this meditation, you find that your thoughts may have wandered. Simply notice that they wandered, and again, without judgment or embarrassment or shame, just simply notice that they wandered and return the attention to the flow of the breath. The mind will always do what the mind does, which is to think thoughts. So give it the thought you want it to focus on right now, which is being present with my breath. And as we continue to breathe, let us connect with our divine nature of love. And imagine, if you will, when you inhale, you pull love from deep within your center, and with each exhale, you radiate it out to the world around you. We breathe in the love from the depths of who we are. We breathe it out to the world. We are conduits of all that is divine. God is love, and that love is felt through us. It is experienced through us. God brings us comfort as we comfort each other. Let us now breathe our divine nature of wholeness, a sensation that all is well. We breathe in that wholeness from the depths of our being. And as we exhale, we radiate it out to the world. We breathe up and out. Let us continue to breathe love and wholeness. As we envision it being pulled up from the core of who we are, through us, as us, we radiate it out to the world. Let us breathe love, wholeness for a few moments in the silence. Let us remember true peace centered in the harmonizing power of love and wholeness is but a breath away. It is us. We are the source of all we seek. So as we awaken our senses and our body in this moment, let us take that truth with us, knowing that as we breathe love and wholeness from the core of who we are in through as us into the world, we see that all is well. And we see that we are the presence. We are the presence. Let us end this time of meditation together by singing Surely the Presence.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glorious face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Thank you, Meg and Lynn. So this week I got a few calls and texts and emails from some of our congregants who said they really enjoyed the talk last week, but it was a lot. And they had to go back and watch it a few times to kind of digest it all. So this is my disclaimer for today's talk. If you thought last week was a lot, hold on to your horses, because we're going deeper today. And I'm going to throw even more stuff at you. So however you're watching this on YouTube, bookmark it. If you got a YouTube account, add it to your favorites. Bookmark the page on your web browser so that you can come back to it quickly. It's going to be a lot today. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing because, as I shared last week, this is our opportunity really to dive in, to really become connected to, embrace, live these unity teachings in a way that enables us not just to survive, but to thrive, to excel during this time, and use this time as an opportunity. An opportunity. You know, we all talk about our spiritual practices, and as I always like to say, this is the time we've been practicing for. So let's get into it. Quick recap from last week. In case you haven't seen last week's talk, it's on YouTube. It's called Blueprint for Healing Part 1. And just a quick recap, we covered what, you know, I sort of look at as a definition of healing. Healing is not trying to fix something that's broken. In the absolute and in the truth of who we are never broken. We may look at our physical self and say, or the world around us and say, it may be messy, I'm sick, I'm ill. You know, we say those things, and when we throw the word healing around, we think it means the end of all that. Healing is not the eradication of what is. True healing is making peace with what is as we live from the wholeness that we are. Let me say that again. Healing is making peace with what is by living from the wholeness that we are. Because when we make peace, we're not struggling. When we struggle internally, it's because our mind, our spirit, our soul, and our body are out of an alignment with each other. True healing is bringing them all together, integrating them all together, in being at one with ourselves. I shared last week a note from Deepak Chopra, who says there is no difference between mind and body. Body and mind are simply visible and invisible forms of the divine reality that we are. And we know this because we know when we have peace of mind, we tend to have peace of body as well. And the reverse is also true. We know when our thoughts and our minds are anxious and stressed and anger, we know it manifests in our body as well. So how do we live in that state of perpetual peace of mind, always at peace with what is? In other words, how do we live in that state of perpetual wholeness? And it only comes from transformation of consciousness. Myrtle Fillmore, quote I shared last week, said that as we leave old circumstances, beliefs, and desires and habits behind and seek to understand and to enter into and get the blessings out of the larger life which is ever opening to us, we are filled with a sense of peace, freedom, and assurance that all is well. And isn't that ultimately what we're always striving for? That sense of peace, freedom, and assurance that all is well. regardless of what the outer circumstances look like. They don't matter outside to your insides. Don't live life from the outside in, live it from the inside out. Myrtle also reminds us to not be concerned with the results as we are with the growth in consciousness, and that will make the results abide in. And I shared that last week and thought of a couple examples that popped into mind this week around that. For example, many of us may be single and we are always maybe like looking for the life partner. How do we manifest a life partner? How would we bring that person into our lives? And honestly, when we stop worrying about that, when we stop focusing on that and truly put the time and attention into loving ourselves fully, realizing we don't need another half, that we are always whole in love with and by ourselves, then we engage life in such a way that, guess what? We attract ourselves to situations where we gonna meet that other person. That's what it happens. I can't tell you how many times I hear people who say, I found the other person when I stopped looking for them. I have examples. There's another example of some couples that I know who struggled for years to maybe have a child and then decided it wasn't working. So they decided to adopt. And sure enough, after that adoption, what happened a few months later? Wife got pregnant. Why is that? Because the focus was no longer on the results, but again, focusing on what the intention was, which is to create love and family. When we focus on the growth in consciousness, the results take care of themselves. So a new quote by Myrtle Fillmore this week, she says, how do we get to that place of perpetual healing? We have to determine what our souls require in order to cause them to unfold more of God. And then how to harmonize their expression with the needs of our fellow human beings so that all benefit and all are inspired to unfold and all express more of their inner spiritual resources. So this is not just about us individually. It starts with us individually, but this is a collective experience. Determine what our souls require in order to cause them to unfold more of God. You know, in our meditation today, I said, breathe in love and wholeness as if it was, not as if it was, because it is, but breathe it in from deep within ourselves. It's there, regardless of if you feel it or not, it's there. This is the great thing about us being divine beings. We don't have to feel it, believe it, to know that it's true. So here are some truths, some big T truths, I call them, that we get to embrace, believe, live, practice to get into this place of perpetual wholeness, living life from the inside out. So Charles Fillmore writes that it is our spiritual thoughts that make the spiritual body. The body is the outer court of the soul, he says, an exact representative in form of the ideals that are revolving in the inner realms of its domain. So if you've never read Charles Fillmore or Myrtle Fillmore before, just know they wrote in the late 1800s, early 1900s. So their English may sound a little antiquated, and it is. So I have the unenviable task of updating it into 2020 speak. The body is the outer court of the soul, an exact representative in form of the ideals that revolve in the inner realms of its domain. So in other words, kind of like what Deepak Chopra said, the mind and the body are the same. There's no difference. So whatever it is, it's revolving, recirculating, regurgitating in our mind and in our thoughts. That's what over time will manifest. And for a lot of us, sometimes we kind of, what I like to call work backwards and see the mess and go, oh my goodness, what was going on inside there that made this happen? No, that's not what I'm inviting you to do right now. What I'm inviting you to do is take forward action. Don't look back. Simply know that you have within you all that you need to start transforming those thoughts. And when it comes to our physical self and our physical experience, remember that the blueprint of our human experience was already a perfect idea in God mind. Charles Fillmore also writes, humankind is in God mind as a perfect idea. God mind is constantly trying to express in everyone its perfect idea, the real and only human being. God mind is constantly trying to express in everyone its perfect idea, the real and only human being. That sounds like, what does that even mean? So let me try to break that down for you a little bit. Because body and mind are no different, the spiritual manifests in the outer. We know that the spiritual realm, the absolute realm, there's no imperfection. There's all there is. There is no lack. There is no dis-ease or lack of peace. There's simply God. There's simply all that is. And the human being was designed to be a perfect expression of that. But it only expresses at the level of where consciousness is. Our consciousness is kind of like that conduit, that filter, that instruction, that blueprint. You know, so the architect has the building in mind, but the architect doesn't go out and build the building. Architect creates blueprints, and it's the builders that follow the blueprint. The architect is our God self, and our consciousness is the blueprint. And we, or human/ego self, follows those blueprints and brings it to life. But if the blueprint's all kind of jacked up, then you're not going to get what you were intending. And often the architect will say to you, this is what I'm envisioning. And you're like, well, I'm just going by the blueprints. But honestly, you are the architect, the blueprint creator, and the builder all at one. So you get to work. And in that quote, when it says it's constantly trying to express, it doesn't mean that you know, I always try to remind people, God isn't some like entity out there telling us what to do or forcing us into anything. What that means is that the potential is there. The potential is there to be expressed. So remember a while back we talked about living above or below the line when we did the the 15 commitments of conscious leadership. We talked about living above and below the line. So when we're living above the line, our blueprint's going to look a lot different than when we're living below the line. Unity talks about the 4 levels of consciousness: victim, victor, vessel, and verity. Verity is that truth consciousness place when we realize that, yes, we are the architect, we are the blueprint, we are the builder all at one, and we have all within us to bring all those into alignment to express that perfect idea of divinity from the spiritual to the physical. Another quote by Charles Fillmore: every idea projects form. The physical body is a projection of a human idea. We carry the body in mind. If the body idea is grounded and rooted in divine mind, the body will be filled with perpetual flow. So let's break that down. The physical body is a projection of a human idea. We carry the body in mind. We carry the body in mind. Here's an example. An athlete's take advantage of this concept. So do musicians and performers and artists. They see themselves achieving the end of the race before they even start. They visualize it. They see their body crossing the finish line. Artists see themselves performing before others. We play it out in our minds. And our body follows, steps into place. Sometimes it goes awry with me. Half the time I envision myself doing something and then I actually thought I did it and I hadn't done it yet, because it's, you know, it's all happening at the same time anyways. It's no time in God. So, but that's not what I'm talking about here. So the more we accept and believe that our physical wholeness is aligned with our divine mind, because if we ground ourselves in these divine ideas, we're going to talk about in a little bit, knowing that the divinity of who we are is the architect, the builder, the creator of the blueprint. If we keep grounding ourselves in that more completely, our minds and our bodies will manifest health and vitality in thought and in being in the world. This is how the law of mind action works. Mind idea expression is that three-step way things come from the invisible spiritual to the visible physical. This is another term is divine order of things. It begins in mind, in God mind, in the absolute. It begins there. And we connect, we experience that through the individualized Christ essence that we are, and that emanates from us through our consciousness. And as a result, this is how we experience the world. This is how we move and have our being in the world. This is how we transform the world. This is how we see everything as an opportunity for us to be the presence of the divine. Connie Fillmore, she's the great-granddaughter of Charles Fillmore. She says, health is a condition of wholeness, completeness, entireness. And healing is merely bringing forth the natural, perfect Christ that exists within every person. The experience of wholeness lies within us. In potential, we have to bring it forth. And we bring it forth through that filter of our consciousness. So as I shared with Myrtle Fillmore's quote earlier, it's all about growth in consciousness. And what we have to do is connect with, call forth, and keep our thoughts centered on one particular power, which is life. If you've been in Unity for a while, you've heard of the 12 powers. These are innate divine faculties, abilities, just different aspects or facets or faces of the divine within us. And one of them is life. Here's what Charles Fillmore says about life. Life is real, abiding, eternal, unchangeable. Thus, we can say life produces health or wholeness, which is one's birthright. God does not compel a person to claim their birthright. Each person is essentially spiritual. Therefore, the potential is within each one to claim, eventually, the full inheritance of life, which produces health in the body. This is how we can walk in this world, be in this world, and allow ourselves to be grounded in that sense of wholeness and that all is well. Now, I know what you're asking me. So wait, does that mean we can go walk around now in this coronavirus time without a mask on and talk to people and encounter people with disease and not get sick? No, that's not what I'm saying. Again, because when our thoughts go there, we're now focusing, as Myrtle Fillmore said, on the results, not about the growth in consciousness. What it means is that as we make smart, healthy choices in the outer, we do so not from a place of fear, not from a place of resistance, not from a place of hesitation. We do it from a place of peace. We do it from a place of surety that as we walk in this world again, all will be well. Life is real, abiding, eternal, unchangeable. Life is the ability to bring vitality and wholeness and movement and creativity, to energize and invigorate. And here's the thing about life as a divine power, one of our divine abilities. It is what we call indiscriminate, as in it just is. It's neither good nor bad. It just is. And it requires direction. And I may sound like a parrot today, but the more we hear it, the more we will get it. That direction is our state of consciousness. So, for example, if our consciousness is not developed and we're stuck in letting the outside inform us, then all we're doing is energizing our thoughts and feelings of chaos, of panic, of frenetic energy. That's what we energize and create more of. However, when our consciousness is a little more developed, and we are more grounded in the spiritual truth of who we are, knowing that we live from the inside out, then when we call forth our divine power ability of life, then what we are doing is we are bringing vitality and energy, and we energize more divine ideas, more divine truths, more certainty of the principles that are working in, through, and as us. So this is why I always encourage folks to take our classes. So for example, the things I covered here today, you'll learn in the Healing and Wholeness class. You would have learned in the Metaphysics class. I'm going to share some affirmations in a while that you would have picked up in the prayer class or the meditation class. These are all things that I'm not asking you to get involved in because I don't think you have anything better to do with your time. No, this is about giving you the tools to help keep that transformation of consciousness going each and every day, each and every moment, so that when situations come your way, you're not informed by them, but you realize, here's the opportunity for me to see them differently, to walk in through and as the presence of life when they come my way. So here are a couple of affirmations, and in unity, affirmative prayer is the reminder of the truth of who we are. Praying unity is not begging, beseeching, it's not asking God to do anything differently. It's not asking, where's God in all this? How could God let this happen? That's not what prayer is about. Affirmative prayer is using our humanity to remind us of our divinity. So these are some affirmations from Reverend Paul Hasselbeck and Reverend Linda Martella-Whitsitt, two unity authors and ministers. Paul Hasselbeck, here's an affirmation he wrote about life. I claim my power of life now. I vitalize and energize all that I think and do based on divine ideas. Let me say that again. I claim my power of life now. I vitalize and energize all that I think and do based on divine ideas. So imagine walking this world, feeling vitalized and energized and fueled simply by the divine ideas of life, of wholeness, of love. And that all is the only thing that emanates from within you, that infuses through you, that grows in you. From Linda Martella-Whitsitt, I am divine life. My body does not give life to me. I give life to my body. I am. The true divine nature is movement and form, function and consciousness. The part of this affirmation I love the best. My body does not give life to me. I give life to my body. We kind of think of it backwards. How am I feeling today? I don't know. You decide. Your body does not give you life. You give life to your body. You breathe up and in that divine power and ability of life that is the core of who you are. And you let that infuse and diffuse throughout your body. From Linda Martella-Whitsitt again, wholeness is my true name and nature. I am vitally alive in mind, body, and spirit. The intelligence that creates the world is the life within me. I am the invigorating power of divine life, ever renewing, ever expressing. Once again, wholeness is my true name and nature. I am vitally alive in mind, body, and spirit. The intelligence that creates worlds is the life within me. I am the invigorating power of divine life, ever renewing, ever expressing. Can you imagine how different your day will be if any of these are the first things you say when you wake up, when you leave your home, if you have to now, when you engage others in the world, when you see the chaos outside? I am the invigorating power of divine life, ever renewing, ever expressing. I am the one who brings wholeness to this world first by bringing wholeness to me. This is how we make peace with what is. Not by seeing disconnect and disharmony and chaos and illness as an unavoidable truth, but again, seeing it all as a reminder of the truth of who we are. What happens in the outer is gonna happen in the outer. It's just gonna happen. It just is what is. But how we are in that what is up to us. So we can allow the what is to stress us, to cause us feelings of fear, panic, and in that way, take its toll on who we are in our human form. Or we can realize we're the ones who give the life, the health, the wholeness to our body, to our form, because of what we are, which is divine life, big L life. That's who we are. The power of life. Just waiting for us to claim it and express it. So I'm going to close the talk today by inviting you to take a deep breath, close the eyes as I repeat these words. And later in the week, play it back to yourself a few times, whether it's on the video or you subscribe to our podcast. Hear it. Infuse yourself with it. Write it down. I am divine life. My body does not give life to me. I give life to my body. Wholeness is my true name and nature. I am vitally alive in mind, body, and spirit. I am the invigorating power of divine life, ever renewing, ever expressing. I am the invigorating power of divine life, ever renewing, ever expressing. Hold this affirmation in your heart. Repeat it multiple times during the day, every day this week. Feel the shift. Allow your consciousness to grow around this. Be transformed by this. And in so doing, be healed. Namaste. So before I invite our musicians to return, a few announcements I want to share with you. I'm very excited about next Sunday. Next Sunday, we're going to have a guest speaker. Don't worry, I'll be here too. I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere. But I'm going to, on the tail end of this series of Healing and Wholeness, I'm inviting an integrative energy healer, my integrative energy healer, a person that I worked with when I was going through the deepest parts of my grief experience after my wife died a few years ago. Ariana Barrett will be here. Some of you may know her. She's a bit of a celebrity fixture around the Newburyport area. She's going to be here to talk about how we stay in a state of peace in this time that wants to bring fear to us, how we navigate uncharted waters while staying balanced, healthy, and in alignment with ourselves. And she's going to not just talk about, but demonstrate the power of our thoughts. So she's going to be with me. We're going to do like an interview style talk together for next week. And then the following Sunday on May 9th, she's going to do, wait for it, some of you might have done this already, but if you to come back, a quantum spoon bending webinar. You're saying, what craziness is this? No, this is a true demonstration of the power of our thoughts. If our thoughts are powerful enough that we can make a physical substance a little bit more malleable, then imagine what a part of our thoughts can do for ourselves and our bodies. She's done hundreds of these workshops in the Newburyport, Amesbury area across the country, and I'm thrilled to have her come share this time with us. So you can get more information if you go to unityontheriver.org/classes and see more information about the workshop. All I got to say is try it before you judge it. I can see some of your heads already turning, going, this is weird. Embrace it. Try it. Also, my Healing and Wholeness class starts this Tuesday night, where you can get some more unity teachings around this area of wholeness. Now, some of you have already checked it out on the classes page, and I've got some calls and texts. Reverend Ogun, I looked at that syllabus. That's so much reading. That's so much work. I don't know if I can handle it. This is an advanced class. There will be more than maybe our usual reading that you've had in other classes. But here's the thing that I need you to know is that you can handle it. If you do a little bit every day, it really is not too much. It is more than manageable. And I want you to know that, again, if you're really ready to dive in and embrace these teachings and truly do the transformative work that this situation is inviting us into, sign up. Sign up. Be brave, be courageous. You got it. Check our online calendar for a lot of ongoing events. We got the men's group going on. We have Course in Miracles going on, AA is going on, all via Zoom. Oh, by the way, registration for my Healing and Wholeness class ends tonight, Sunday the 26th, 11:59 p.m. So you got to sign up today. And also, I want to invite you guys into something I'll share some more details about later, which is this: how can we make a tangible given presence in the world? I've been in communication with the director of Pettingill House, which is in Salisbury. That's local to us in the Amesbury, Seacoast, Newburyport area. And the lines of people for food at food banks and areas like these that tend to serve those who are more needy they're so long. People are needing so much right now with folks losing their jobs and losing their income. So I'm going to invite you guys with me to start collecting some things you have at your home, and at an appointed time, which I'll share with you in the future. We're still working out the details. Maybe bring them by the church and drop them off, and then we'll take a bunch of stuff over to Pettingill House. I'll post the full list, but for right now, check around your house. If you got some canned meals and soups, cereals, one of the things that folks are really needing are grocery store and gas station gift cards, because some people still need to get out and are essential workers who need to go to work. And also some toiletries, shampoo and conditioner, body wash, and toilet paper. I know some of y'all went out and bought a bunch of toilet paper when this whole thing got started. Here's how you trust in the abundance of the universe right now. Give some, okay? There will always be more than enough. So start collecting some things. We will post a full list later. Check your emails and check our website later this week, and you'll get all the details. Please join us at the end of this video, 11 a.m. for virtual hospitality, and at 2 p.m. on Wednesday again for a midweek meetup and meditation. And as always, thank you for your donations to help keep this ministry going, help keep these services going, and all that we do. I do have to share with you, our donations fluctuate up and down this week. Usually we have a sense of consistency of income. The last few weeks, they've been, and I'm grateful for all that's come in, and they've been all over the place. Some weeks is up here, some weeks is down there. It's all over the place. So just to invite you to remember that we function solely on your generosity and your abundance. And the first step in knowing that this is an abundant world is to give. So head over to unityontheriver.org/donate, or if you want to easily give from your phone through Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit card, all that sort of stuff, text GIVE to 833-702-4337. One-time setup, and it allows you to set up your phone to simply text a donation to us, again, through Google Pay, Apple Pay. If you got a credit card that you earn miles and points, you can set that up as well to share with us. So that was a lot. It's all on our website. And I think I'm going to shut up right now. It was a talkative day today for me. But I'm going to now turn it back over to Brian and Keith, who are going to remind us that we are all one. Take it away, guys.
person. I'll be you, you'll be me. We all are one, same universal world. I'll be you, you'll be me. We all are one, we are the same person. I'll be you, you'll be me. We all are one, same universal world. I'll be you, you'll be me. No matter where we are born, we are human beings. The same chemistry, where emotions and feelings are corresponding, love compatible. You can't get around it, no matter how hard you try. You better leave it if you should find out that you're no different than I. Reply, we all are one, we are the same person. I'll be you, you'll be me. We are all one, same universal world. I'll be you, you'll be me. We are all one, we are the same person. I'll be you, you'll be me. We are all one, same universal world. I'll be you, you'll be me. The only difference I see is in the conscience, in the shade of our skin. Doesn't matter, we laugh, we chatter, we smile. We all live for hope, and the feelings that make all those faces always renew. So true. Would you believe I have all those same feelings too? Same as you. We are all one, we are the same person. I'll be you, you'll be me. We are all one, same universal world. I'll be you, you'll be me. We are all one, we are the same person. I'll be you, you'll be me. We are all one, same universal world. I'll be you, you'll be me. Look at the children, they're having fun. Fun regard with no regard to why. They all look different, but deep inside, the feelings of love they don't hide. They don't hide. They don't hide. We are all one, we are the same person. I'll be you, you'll be me. We are all one, we are the same person. I'll be you, you'll be me. We are all one, we are the same person. I'll be you, you'll be me. We are all one, it's the same universal world. I'll be you, you'll be me. We are all one, we are the same person. I'll be you, you be me.
Yeah, we all are one. That is the truth. And from that oneness, we derive peace. And from the peace that we each all are, we bring peace to this earth. So let us close out by singing, as we always do, that affirmation: let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment, increase eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us.
We are the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
We are the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
We are the power of God.
God,
And the presence of God watches over us.
We are the presence of God.
of God.
All together, wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
And
We
we
are
are
richly
blessed.
blessed.
Later, see you.
Thank you for watching.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.